so fresh and so clean. And I got my braids and I just had a shower, so like, I feel so good today because shower day was much needed. So anyway, yeah, break through the chrysalis. So today, the past couple days, the Lord has just been like talking to me about, um, this whole past few months I've been in my car and just surviving the winter, and it felt like I was in like this cocoon of just me and the Lord. I felt so isolated and so, you know, just I've been through some seasons of solitude before, but this one takes the cake. This one, like, and I didn't even realize how isolated and secluded I've been until I moved over to the little van life community, and I started like talking to people and like being social again, because I was like, oh man, I haven't had human interaction in a minute. You know what I mean? Like real human interaction. And so because the neighborhood where I had been living all winter, I see people all the time and stuff, but like they it was a primarily, I hate to say this, but I'm going to just say it because it's the truth. It was a primarily African American community, and most of the girls there did not like me. So like every interaction I had just felt hateful and like unwanted. So I just kind of stayed to myself because it was trying to, like, I just could feel their hate, and I was like, okay, like I tried to be nice and whatever, but then I moved over to the other side of town where it's just like a little van life community, and everybody's super friendly and super talkative and like friendly, and you're just like, oh wow, this is a nice change. So you can feel the shift in the people, in that environment too, where um um people are much more eager in that type of lifestyle too, to be more communal. Like van life people are super cool because they live this type of lifestyle, so they understand that there is solitude, but their need for community is real too because they're so isolated. Sorry, my hair is like pulling, and it's pulling my neck down. Anyway, so they understand this need for like community and friendship as well because of the lifestyle they do live, which is, I understand it because of the past few months of living on the road. You're like, oh yeah, you need people too, because if you're in survival mode so much. So when people who are living that lifestyle see each other, there's this recognition and there's this like friendliness because um, I think we all understand that we need community, but also we're the type of people that do like to live alone. So anyway, but it was just a nice change up. And so anyway, I move over there and I start realizing like, oh man, I've been super isolated for the past few months. And it kind of felt awkward. It's been feeling awkward to like come out of my little dungeon back here. And now that it's warmed up, I can live again. I can go out and do things again, because I swear for a couple months during the winter, it was just kind of like, let's just not die of the cold. Let's just stay warm. You know what I mean? And so a lot of it was just survival. And so and downtime with the Lord, and those seasons are necessary too. And so the Lord was like speaking to me today about like what I'm experiencing now is like almost like breaking out of that chrysalis and breaking through. So when the worm goes into form the little cocoon and they're in there, they basically dissolve into a whole nother creature, into this beautiful creature, right? But and while they're in the isolation of the cocoon, they're just being dismantled. And that's kind of, I went through a lot of internal stuff with the Lord in the past few months, and so that's kind of what has been happening. But when they're ready to emerge, right, they have they can't you can't just open a chrysalis and like help it out, or um you know like it has to struggle its way out. It has to break through that cocoon, so that its wings are strong enough so that when it does emerge, it can fly, right? So if you help it out of the chrysalis, or if it's not if there's not the struggle, the wings won't be strong enough to support it, so then it will die, because it has to have the struggle to get out of it, right? And that's kind of where, I told you like the other day, like it's been really hard like lately, and thank God for my couple of little destiny helpers that are, helping me eat and stay alive. And I'm so grateful for you guys. But um, it's not just the financial situation, it's the mental warfare that goes along with it. When God, when you get broken down like that, you feel like a puddle of goo, and then you're being structured in such a way that you're not quite sure who you're not the same person that went into that cocoon, but you don't know what's coming out either. And so there's this struggle in the warfare. There's this struggle in all kinds of things. There's a struggle. And so, like, yesterday I just made up my mind. You know how sometimes you just have to get to the point of like, no, we're just gonna be happy and trust the Lord. um and make up your mind not to be double-minded. God's gonna do what he said he's gonna do, and like, I'm not gonna waver in this anymore, because my faith, I told you, my faith has been attacked more than ever in my whole life during this trial. When I went to California, I never struggled with the wavering of the faith. It was like rock solid. But this time around, it's the only struggle I feel like I've been having is my faith. And um and so uh so anyway, like, I think it was like in the past couple of days, I was just like, no, the Lord's gonna do it. And I remember, like, it was very fairly recently, I just determined in my heart, like, to quit with the back and forth of like wavering in my doubt of like, is God gonna come through? Why am I here? All the who, what, when, where, and whys that I couldn't answer. It's like, yeah, I can't answer those anyway. So like, I'm just gonna believe. And it was like, as soon as I made up my mind to believe the Lord, it was like this all out assault on me. And I mean, just crazy. That, like, this morning, I I decided, I was like, I heard the Lord say, go to a different Planet Fitness this morning. So I usually go to the one on Flatbush, and this morning I went to a different one. And I'm glad I did, because the water was a lot warmer. And like, anyway, so I went to a different one. But when I parked, I just didn't even look at the sign. I had driven around for like 30 minutes looking for a spot, and then I jumped out, went to shower, and I took my sweet time, because it had been like 4 days. And I was like, I'm taking a long shower and washing my hair and drying my hair and doing all this stuff today. And so I was taking my sweet time in there this morning. And I this is so crazy, because I was blow drying my hair, and it takes a long time to blow dry my hair, and then it's still not even dry. I still have to go back and dry it later, because it's still not dry yet. But I was drying my hair, and after I'd already taken a long shower, I'd already been there for a long time. And it was like, I think it was like right at, hold on, I'll tell you exactly what time it was, because I looked at my phone, and it was 11:55. And the Lord said to me, did you look at the parking sign where you parked today? And I thought, oh no, I didn't even see if they were doing street cleaning when I parked there. And I was like, oh well, I'm already in here, I'm already drying my hair, I'm not going to rush now, because you know what I mean. I was like, like, what's done is done. I'm in mid blow dry, right? I'm not going to stop. And so I just continued, and I took my sweet time. And it was about, maybe I was 20 minutes later, I went back to my car, and by the time I got there, I jump in, and I had never parked on the street before, and I don't know why I didn't look at the sign, but like, basically I get in, and there's a ticket on my window, and I was like, oh man. And then what the crazy part was because when the Lord said, did you look at the sign, I looked at my phone to see what time it was. It was 11:55. And when I get out here and there's a ticket on my windshield, the timestamp on the ticket is 11:56. The Lord was telling me while I was in the shower today, like, did you look at the sign? No, you didn't. Now you have a ticket. And like, it's almost the exact same time that I was in there, and he told me. And I was just like, but when I came out, I was like, you know what? At least my car didn't get towed. Like, I can pay a fine all day, but I like, thank God it didn't get towed. And then also, it was like, something else happened. It was like, just one of those days where like everything that can go wrong. Oh, I had put on a clean pair of clothes, right? And as soon as I put on my clean pants, they got dirty. And I was like, what? like think little things like that normally are just like, I mean, they're aggravating, but when you have a whole bunch of these type of things that happen in one short amount of time, which is not common for me, um, it's like stuff trying to get you to feel discouraged and upset. It's like, man, I can't afford to pay this parking ticket, but oh well. What I mean, what can I do? At least I don't have to. You have to look at the bright side. At least I didn't have to get my card out of the impound. And so, but I just noticed there was like this influx of like attacks. And the Lord was just like, it's going to be like this until you break through. Until you break through. It's all those little things, all those attacks from the enemy. The enemy does not want you to break out. The enemy does not want you to break through that um chrysalis. And but God, he he allows these types of struggles. He allows these types of situations because you need the struggle to break through. It pushes you, it propels you. And so many times we like to escape the hardness of our situation. When things get hard, if there's a way out, we take the easy way out. And it's like, but that doesn't mature us. That doesn't help us grow wings. That doesn't help us turn into the butterfly. that that hinders us. When someone helps us out of our situation, when we help ourselves out of our situation, that's what derails us from true growth. And so we need the struggle. The struggle is real, but the struggle is what makes us strong on the inside, that we're rock solid, that when we come out, we don't have to like wonder if we can fly. We know we can fly. Like we are a new creation. We are, God has done a good work in us. And so I want to encourage some people today, if you're going through a struggle, hey Christy, if you're going through any type of struggle, if you're going I feel like I've been in the struggle for years. I know. I so understand, especially when you fast. It's discouraging at times. Dude, like, that's what I was just saying. I think this struggle right here was, I told the Lord this like 2 nights ago. I was like, Lord, it's just been so long, like so long. Like, I got to the place where I'm like, I don't even remember what you promised me anymore. I can't even remember like what I'm believing you for anymore. That's how long we've been in this. So since I remember him showing me these things back in 2009. We're going on a decade now. Like, we're pushing a decade, I mean, no, past a decade. Wait, I'm not good at math. 29, 2019, that's 10 years. So we're going on 15. I don't even know. That's been so long. Like, I can't anymore, So that's why it's like, that's the hardest part of, I think it's like the biggest breakthrough is like, because you're contending not just with adverse situations. My biggest battle is me. My biggest battle is my discouragement. My biggest battle is my disappointments from past seasons, and it's like, uh it, hope deferred makes the heart sick, right? And so when you keep hoping and keep hoping and keep hoping, but it keeps getting deferred and deferred and deferred, it makes you sick inside. It makes your heart sick. You don't even want to hope anymore. And that's the hardest battle of all, is hope, fighting hopelessness, right? Because Jesus is our hope. And so when you get to that place where it's like you can't even remember the promise anymore. So what are you hoping? You just hope in Jesus. Like, Lord, whatever you do for me at this point or don't do for me, I don't care, because I'm not following you for that blessing, because I can't even remember what it is anymore. I don't remember what I'm believing you for anymore, but I believe you. And so that's where you have to come to, is this place of like, Lord, I don't even care anymore about any blessing. Like, I just want you, and like, I'm not gonna quit. And it's like one small yes after another. It's one small, just not today Satan after another, basically. And eventually you'll get to wherever it is and whatever it is and that he has for you to do. And so I just want to encourage you, because the struggle is what's making us. The struggle is what is propelling us. The struggle is what is strengthening our wings. So whatever lines up, whatever syncs up, he's going to make you so strong in that struggle that when you come out, you will be able to fly. So, oh, thank you, Chrissy. Thank you for your prayers. Oh, yes, girl. Like, I hear you. Sickness, what is it, car tire failure. I know, it's like one thing after. Oh, that was the other thing. I get in my car and I never have any lights on in the car, and as soon as my oil light or check engine light or anything comes on, I take it straight to get it fixed. Like my dad owns a shop, so like usually I go take it to my dad, but I'm out of town. And now this morning it was like, check your fuel cap. And I get out and I'm like, my fuel cap is fine. So I have to call my dad and he doesn't answer. And I'm like, Dad, do I have another fuel cap? Is there something else I should be looking at? And I'm like, not today, Satan. Like, just, but in that, like all these things happened this morning. I mean, there was more things, but it was just like, I'm determined in my heart, like I'm going to be happy and praise the Lord. I don't care. Like it's so easy to get negative and let Satan steal from you, especially because I swear to you, like the Lord spoke to me yesterday and it was just so much encouragement, and it was like as soon as the Lord speaks something good to you, Satan's going to come and try to steal that thing right out of your heart, right out of your heart. As soon as God plants the seed, Satan's going to come try to snatch that thing away. And so, like I said, the hardest battle is in here. It's in our mind. Like, it's in our mind, because once we determine in ourselves, once we make up our mind, nothing can stop us. Nothing can, who cares? Like, Satan, he can do all these little tricks and schemes and make lights flash on your car and give you tickets all day. It doesn't matter. It's not going to stop God's plans and purposes. And you can either be upset about it or just still thank God anyway. And that's the way I choose to look at it. I'm just like, oh well. Oh well, add that ticket to the collection. Like, put it on my tab. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, what am I going to do? You know what I mean? And so I can either be upset about it or just be like, okay, it'll get paid when it gets paid, and hallelujah, I didn't get towed. Always look at the bright side. There's always a bright side to every situation. And so, sorry, this lady's walking like 15 dogs down the street at one time. She's got like a pack of dogs. It's so cute. Anyway, I love that. So it's a beautiful day in New York City. I've been walking around today, and I'm about to go to the library to work for a little while, and I will talk to you guys soon. I hope you have a great week. Thank you guys for your love and support. Bye, Michelle. Bye, Chrissy. Sorry, I called you by your last name. Bye, Chrissy. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you for your support. I love you guys. Bye.